I'm going to press record here. Thank you guys all for getting on tonight. I am going to start off. I don't know if you guys saw the little shout out that I just did, and I posted it in Forever Fit. I'm actually going to post it on my wall here soon on Facebook just to give everyone a little shout out. But I'm pretty darn excited because it is only the 9th right now, and we have a lot of people on the leaderboards. So if you are already on the leaderboards, huge congratulations, because there's still a lot of time in the month left. But I do want to give some special shout outs because Melissa Bueller is the only one at Success Club 10. So congratulations, that is awesome. She's obviously doing something right. And then we have Lauren Penrose and Reagan Long at Success Club 6. So they are the only two at Success Club 5. Good job, guys. I know that you're working hard. We have a whole bunch of people at Success Club 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. So I'm going to go ahead and just read off the names because there's enough that I can just take a little bit of time and read off and just give you guys a congratulations. But we have Erin Trail at 4. I know she's at work being busy, so she'll be listening to the call. Congratulations, Erin. We have Dawn Lusk at 4, who is a pretty brand new coach, and she just went Emerald last week. We have Ashley Roberts at 4, and Little Miss Ashley is the other girl who did her bikini competition last week, and she is going to nursing school full-time. She has 3 kids. She's extremely busy, but she's making it happen, and she's almost at Diamond. She is doing awesome. We have Maria Bokulich, who is also kicking butt over there. She is a certified personal trainer in Washington, D.C., kicking butt and going through, she's moving into city. So she has a lot going on, but she is still making it work with her full-time job and everything she has going on. Maggie Zimmerman, who is kicking butt over there, I see, at Success Club. Maggie is almost at Diamond as well. Holy crap, we're going to have a lot of new diamonds popping soon. I know Alisha has a few too that are going to be going Diamond as well. We have Sam Thoma at 4, Melissa Brown at 4, Megan Wagner at 4, and I think Megan is a brand new Emerald. Yes, she is. So congratulations. We have Nicole Joshak. I see her name all the time. So congratulations, Nicole. I know you're kicking butt. You are at 4. Courtney Burke is at 4. She is one of Erin Trail's coaches, almost at Diamond. We have Tracy Bucheister at 3. We have Heather Geiger at 3. Megan Blinka at 3. Sarah Griffith at 3. And she has her husband, Kevin, at 3. So we can say she kind of has 6 too. I guess we could say that. Congratulations, Sarah. And also Kevin is a new Emerald coach as of today. We have Beth Bird at 2. We have Billiana at 2. Alicia Smith at 2. Dana Limburger at 2. Daniel Johnson at 2. Jill Cleek at 2. Maya Miller at 2. Sarah Wiseman at 2. Heather McLaughlin at 2. Christina Paulette at 2. Michael Kemock at 2. Victoria Good at 2. Jade Emhoff at 2. Anna Woods at 2, Amanda Rogerson at 2, Ashley Clausen at 2, and Lindsay Hagner at 2, and Laura Bird at 2. Awesome job. And then we have a few coaches at Success Club 1. So we have Julie Blachak at 1, Shanna Wonderly at 1, Brooke Henderson at 1, Jackie Snell at 1, and Keela Orr at 1. And I know a lot of these coaches are also in our Push to Diamond groups. So they are definitely making it work, staying accountable. If you guys ever have an opportunity, if you have not been in basics yet or an Emerald to Diamond group, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get into one because it is great accountability. It really keeps you on track. We make sure you stay on track because we have you do daily check-ins. So we're really giving you that good push that you need to get into the habits and really stay consistent with your business. So one day, you're not going to have to think about doing those daily activities. They just come right to you, and it's something that you just normally want to do. And okay, I named all the rank advancements. We have Lauren Petrosky, who is on the call. Congratulations to our newest Emerald. And then Megan Wagner, I did mention, and Kevin Griffith is also Emerald. So great job, guys. All right. We have a couple sales going on for the month of April. If you guys are wondering, how am I going to get new challengers on board? What can I say to help them save money? We do always, every single month, Beachbody gives us different promotions. So this month we have PIO, which is from Shalene Johnson. It is between Pilates and yoga, but it's more of a faster pace, and it does include some really good music and good moves. It's awesome. I was in the test group for it with Beachbody and got pretty good results. It really, really helps with the flexibility and toning. So if someone has knee problems or back problems, this would be a great opportunity for them, or knee problems, because it's a low impact program. So PIO with a Shakeology and a challenge pack is on sale for $140, so it's usually $160. And you can also get the PIO Kickstart, which includes a 3-day refresh. That is on sale for $180. There's also the Ultimate Reset, which is our 21-day cleanse. I did also do that before. It's one of the most difficult things to do, but it is amazing. It really gives your body a good cleanse, takes away all the chemicals, but it really makes you think about food differently. I never would eat some of the foods before I started the Ultimate Reset, and then after I did it, I use a lot of the recipes still on a regular basis. You do go vegan for 2 weeks, which is something I would never do. But now I don't eat red meat a lot, and it's been ever since I did the Ultimate Reset. It's great to try, especially if people really want to focus on the nutrition part. If they cannot exercise, that would be a good opportunity for them to do, because you are not supposed to exercise while you're doing the Ultimate Reset. It is $275 with the Shakeology, and it's regular $305. So it is a little bit pricey, but with what you get out of it and the results are pretty amazing. So it is definitely worth every dollar that you spend. And then we also have P90X3 Challenge Pack. That is on sale for $160, and it's normally $180. All right, cool. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, I know I was asking everyone about Super Saturday. If you have an opportunity to get into Pittsburgh, we have our Super Saturday on the 25th of April. So it is the week we come back from our Success Club trip in Cancun. If you can attend any trainings, it's going to help your business. That is where you get motivated. That is where you talk to the top coaches that are in the business. We have Melanie Mitro. She is the #1 coach in the company. She will be there, of course, along with Alisha Shoemaker, who is a top 10 coach, and a few other coaches in the business who are pretty awesome. Katie Ersta, who is a 9-star. She is the one that we just were helping promote for Pittsburgh Woman of the Year after she fought stage 4 lymphoma. Or Hodgkin's lymphoma. So we have a lot of top coaches on the team that will be there. It is awesome. We have corporate that also comes to our trainings. But again, it's just really motivating. When I first started the business, I did it for 2 months before I went to a Super Saturday. And I always felt like there was something missing in my business. And it wasn't until I went to a Super Saturday that I saw the people getting up on stage and talking about their success stories with weight loss, with their own weight loss journey, but also with financially, and how they've grown their business. And that is what really caught my eye and made me really think about what I need to do to grow my business if this is something I truly want. Because for me, I really wanted to be able to stay at home with my kids. I wanted to be able to work from home and not have to miss all the great opportunities that, watching them grow and crawl for the first time. And I missed that with my youngest because I was working full-time as a nurse. So I said, I'm not doing that with my second child. I want to be able to stay at home with them and go to all their events and not have to work holidays and weekends and night shifts that I was working as a nurse. And that Super Saturday just motivated me. And ever since then, I just stayed committed to what my goals were. And I made it non-negotiable to do anything less. And here I am hosting the call with all of you lovely people who are hopefully going to do the same thing. So if you have an opportunity to go to the Super Saturday, even if you're going alone, I promise you, we will be like family when we get together. I went to about 4 or 5 Super Saturdays by myself before I actually had a team going with me. So you at least have all of us that will be there together, and we will make sure that you are not alone when you get there. So please make sure you get there if you can. And I think that is all I wanted to say. I am going to let 2 lovely people talk today. We have Lauren Penrose, who is a 1-star diamond coach, soon to be growing more because she has a pretty awesome team going on right now. She is a Success Club 10 All-Star, which means from the get-go with her business, she has reached Success Club 10 every single month. She has made it non-negotiable. She has been very consistent, and she's also a physician assistant. So she is a busy mom. She has a 2-year-old at home, and she is also having one on the way. You're 25 weeks?
Yep.
25 weeks on the way with baby number 2. I don't know. I think it's a boy, but we'll find out in how many more weeks? 20, maybe 23.
No, like 15?
15? How? Wait, I thought you were pregnant for like 38 weeks. I don't know my math right now. Whatever. Just put the medication.
15. We're going 40.
Yeah. Anyways, and then we have Alisha Smith, who is one of our diamond coaches. She has an amazing team going on. She is a Success Club 5 All-Star, which means she has hit Success Club every single month. She also makes it non-negotiable. What's special about her is she has 4 kids. She owns a bakery. So holy crap, is it hard to even reach your health and fitness goals owning a bakery, let alone also being a Spanish teacher and having 4 children. These 2 women that I have on this team call, I have them on for a reason because they have grown their business in 2 different ways, both the right way, but they're different. So just because, it's not the same way as another person will grow, it doesn't mean it's wrong. But they have developed their own format of how they want to grow their business. And they have both been very consistent every single month. And that's what I want them to share with you guys. Because, we all start out as a beginner. No one's an expert, but the point of it is to hang in there as much as you can. And there's going to be months that you struggle. There's going to be weeks that you struggle, days that you want to quit the business because it's just too hard. But you have to go through the experiences and just really stick it out and know why you're here. And if you're here for the right reasons and you really want to help people, you can make anything happen. And I'm going to let them go ahead and talk for a little bit. I don't know who's going first. All right. I'm going to go ahead and let Alisha talk. If you wanted to just see her, you can, speaker view. You can do speaker view at the top right. You can click on that and she'll be talking. All right. Go ahead, Alisha.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to talk to you tonight. Deidra gave you a little info on my background. My kids are 2, 4, 6, and 8. So I started coaching in August of 2013. I'm coming up on a year and a half, a little over a year and a half. And I do have a goal to make this my only job, so to speak. So I'm working very hard at replacing my teaching income. My husband is also currently unemployed, so that makes me want to work a little harder now than ever to get this going. We have the bakery as well, and honestly, I have given that over to my parents just within the last 2 months because I want to focus on Beachbody. This has been extremely important to me to grow this as big as possible, as quickly as possible, because obviously I'm missing out on things with my children and they are not getting any younger. So I want to share with you a few things tonight, nothing too crazy, but I think a thing that a lot of my coaches, and I'm sure many of you struggle with, is how do you build this business if you're working full time? Deidra was working full time in the beginning, like she said, so this obviously can be done. It just takes a lot of discipline and a lot of structure. So you have to be good at time management. And I'm not going to say that that's necessarily a strength of mine, but it has become one because I didn't have a choice. So there's 2 things I want to share with you tonight. One is my schedule, and Lauren's going to share hers with you as well because ours may be different. Like Deidra said, you have to figure out what works for you. So I'm going to just share a picture with you really quickly of my schedule, and let me just push the share button. Here we go. This is a day in my life, and it's coming up here. So a day in my life, this would be exactly what it looks like if it went perfectly every day, which I'm sure you know it doesn't. But I get up at 5:30 and drink my E&E, which is a pre-workout. It's something I'm obsessed with. So if you haven't tried it, definitely try it. It's supposed to be drank 15 to 30 minutes before your workout. And while I'm drinking that, I usually get on the computer and check my messages and respond to any that might have come in overnight. Then at 5:45, after that E&E is kicked in, I do my workout. And something I learned from Deidra was that you can do your PD while you're working out. So I used to work out with music, but I switched that over within about the last 6 months. And I'm now doing my personal development during my workout. So I'm listening to the National Wake Up Call or something that I might have missed earlier in the week, or I'm listening to audiobooks at least, around 30 minutes a day, because that's how long my workouts are. So I end up, I see a typo there. It should be like 6:15 a.m. I go on and I do my morning post and I check into my challenge groups. And then at 6:20, I normally, by the way, have that first morning post, an idea of what I want to do in the night before. And I normally just do a workout picture of me and some sort of motivational quotes. So I'm showing everyone that I'm being consistent with my workouts. Then I post and check in my challenge groups, like I said, and then I will do my shower. Then I need to wake up my kiddos and get ready. So I don't take very long to get ready. I've learned to limit that. That was something I used to spend a lot of time doing, but in the grand scheme of things, the way I look isn't important as far as like being in my job. So I do tend to skimp there, so to speak. I rarely wear makeup out and those sorts of things, just because I needed to find places to limit my time. My hair rarely gets straightened with a straightener or curled unless I'm going somewhere special. Then I drive my kiddos to school and I work from 8 to noon. I can't be on Facebook while at work usually because it's, I'm busy. So I do take time on my lunch break to do a second post, and that's when I will do my invite. So I have 30 minutes to myself where I can just bang those out. I do 3 to 5 every single day. And then I go back to work. So I'm obviously not building my Beachbody job at that time. And then when I get off work, there's not much time for Beachbody. I have dinner to do. I have kids to run to different practices and baths to give when we get home. So that's my family time. My kids go to bed around 8:30. My husband's helpful with that, luckily, so he puts them to bed for me. And then that is my time to focus on my business from 8:30 to 10, where I do my third post. I get on any team calls, I call my coaches that I need to talk to, and I respond to messages. So this is like a typical day in my life. What I wanted to show you, though, in my second picture is these, hold on, sorry. There's a second one I need to share with you. These goals and this typical day in my life align with the 3 vital behaviors. So let me do that again. Sorry, guys, I had it up, but I accidentally closed it. Got it. I highlighted here how these goals align with the 3 vital behaviors. So number 1 is to be a product of the product. So every day I work out and I drink my Shakeology. Those are non-negotiables. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. And I share that on Facebook with people because obviously they need to know as a coach that you're being consistent with the things that you're preaching, right? The second thing I do every day is my personal development, non-negotiable. And the third thing I do every day is invite. So you can see that those 3 vital behaviors that Beachbody makes vital for a reason, they are built into my daily life, even on the weekends. These things happen. Okay, so I've shared that with you. Now I just want to talk to you for a minute about the power of 5. So if a coach were to come to me and say, Alisha, what are the 5 things that you've done in your business consistently that have that you think really got you to where you are. These would be those 5 things. The number one thing that I do, I call it PPDS. PPDS is push, play, and drink Shakeology. This is a non-negotiable. If you are a working coach, you have got to do this every single day. I love how people tell me they don't have time to drink their Shakeology, but they have coffee every day. You know, it's literally like 2 minutes to mix your shake, even if you're on the run. I mix it right before I run out the door and drive my kids to school, and then I drink it on the way there. So either that or I do it in the morning while I am doing my posts and things. But I never miss it. So you know, the PPDS, push, play, and drink Shakeology has got to be a given if you're going to work this business, okay? The number 2 thing in my power of 5 is the personal development. I get all kinds of personal development. I was into personal development, believe it or not, before I was a Beachbody coach. My husband and I had been in another network marketing company that really pushed personal development, and I found the value way back then, which was about 10 years ago. But I do my personal development because I'm not available at 11 a.m. on Mondays for the National Wake Up Call. I always listen to that back on a podcast while I'm doing a workout. Some other time during the week. It's not always the same day, but I always listen to the National Wake Up Call. Sometimes I will do team calls on Monday night, so I'll miss Melanie's Dream Team call, so I might listen to that one back at a different time throughout the week. I like to listen to specific church podcasts that I like to listen to, so that might be one that I'll tune into. And then the other thing I'll do is buy books on audio and like personal development books, and I'll listen to those. But, you know, if you don't do the personal development, your mind set isn't going to be in the right place when all the junk comes along, the inevitable things that we have to deal with as coaches, the negative stuff. So make sure that you are doing this. It's the one thing that I think everybody wants to think they don't need, and the people that want to think they don't need it most. So definitely make time for this. It will literally change your life. It will make the bad days not seem so bad, and it will make the tough times shorter, and you know that they won't last. So definitely get your personal development in. That's the number 2 thing on my top 5. The third thing that I think has really made a difference in my business is stories. So you want to be a collector of stories as a coach. You need stories to help people overcome their excuses and their objections, right? So you should always have 5 good stories in your back pocket. And what do I mean by that? Well, your personal story is a great one, obviously, your own transformation, whether it's a 100-pound transformation or it's just that you, in the first 7 days of drinking Shakeology, were able to kick your soda habit, you lost 3 pounds, and you saved money because you were drinking Shakeology. That's a story, right? You want to have a story of a fellow coach maybe that was able to get off of their diabetes medicine because or insulin because they were, Shakeology has helped them to get their nutrition stabilized where it needs to be. But 5 stories, I think, is like I said, in your back pocket, that when you're talking to someone that you can say, you know what, I know exactly how you feel. I know so-and-so that had the same issue you have. And guess what? By blank, they were able to achieve blank. So the stories, they're so powerful. Like I said, they help you to overcome people's objections. Let's see, number 4 is the make friends and add value using social media. Okay, so this is so important. I know we stress that we want you to do 3 to 5 posts a day on social media, but don't just post to post, okay? Think about what you post before you post it, and think of how it's going to come across to someone else. Is it going to be worth their time to stop scrolling and read your post? That is what you're aiming for, right? You want to make 5 new friends every day on social media. So this saves you time. You know, instead of rocking your insanity shirt and going to the grocery store and hoping that the lady bagging your groceries is going to notice your insanity shirt and ask you about it, right? You can engage people via social media and they ask questions naturally. And that is something that can happen when we're busy at any time throughout the day, which you can respond to then the next day or at night. So you want to make friends and add value on social media 3 to 5 times a day. I add 5 new people a day. Some people, they don't accept my invites, and I just go up and, delete that request after a few days if they haven't accepted it, and then add someone else. Instagram's a great way to add new people to your friends list. You can find people on Instagram and ask them to add you on Facebook. I think I started as a Beachbody coach with about 600 friends, and I'm up to about 1,400 now. So I've definitely been adding consistently for the last 18 months. The 5th and final power of 5 thing that I think is essential and that has helped me get where I am is the invite. It's the scary thing that nobody wants to do. We're always afraid to ask a question. We're always afraid to invite someone. We're worried what they'll think about us, or we're worried that they'll think that we think they're fat, or, I know it. I've been there. But all these new friends that I was just talking about you adding, you're going to invite them eventually. It's not going to be as soon as they accept your friend request, you go up and hit message and say, hey, want to join my challenge group? No, of course it's not like that. But over time, people love talking about themselves, right? And they love to tell you in life what they're dissatisfied with. And the cool thing about that is as you develop a relationship with them, you develop a rapport, right? And you can get out of them what they're dissatisfied with. And many people in today's society are dissatisfied with their appearance, their weight, their nutrition. They want to be healthier, but they just don't know where to start. They're overwhelmed. So, a line that I use a lot is like after they give me a dissatisfaction, they might say like, oh, and they do this naturally because they know I'm into health and fitness. We'll just be talking. They're like, I don't know how you do those workouts every day. I just don't have the time, and I don't have the energy. And I'll be like, listen, can I be real with you for a minute? And sometimes this will be on social media. Sometimes this will be over the phone. And I'll say, are you more interested in being dissatisfied with your nutrition, for example, or are you sharing that with me because you're actually looking for a solution? If you are really looking for a solution, I would love to help you. And then I just tell them what I have to offer. I just explain challenge groups and how amazing they are and why I joined one and the difference it made in my life. So again, I'm sharing what it did for me. I'm not pushing it. I'm not selling anything. And by doing those 5 things over time and consistently, that's the big thing. You can't go all out on your business for a day or 2 and then take 5 days off. It doesn't work like that. I think what happens a lot of time with coaches is they start out all gung-ho and then life hits and you get off on your fitness or you get off on your Shakeology, you stop drinking it and you stop engaging in the business. So then you stop sharing as much on your personal wall and all of a sudden it's like this really bad downward spiral, right? But instead of asking for help, you disengage even more. And honestly, that's the point where you need to go to your coach. Be real. We've all been there. I've gotten off track of my fitness. I've gotten off track on my workouts. I've gotten on track of my eating. Be real with your coach, and she's going to, or he is going to help you get back on track. The only difference between a successful and an unsuccessful coach is that the successful ones, it's not that they don't mess up. Trust me, they do. It's just that they correct themselves quicker. Okay, so I just want you to know that. That is my power of 5. Does anyone have any questions?
That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Really awesome.
I'm glad. I hope it helps. I'm one of those not warm and fuzzy, gonna give you like the perfect picture. I want you to know that this is a lot of work, but it is so worth it. And any one of you can have the freedom that Deidra now has, that I'm aiming for, that Lauren is working for. We can all have it. It's there for the taking. We just have to put in the work.
And I love that you said about how people go gung-ho and they're really into it. And then, once the times get tough, they fall off with their eating. They fall off with their fitness. And then they like completely disappear. That we see that so much. But the ones who want it bad enough, they are not going to let them, totally ruin their career and opportunity that they have sitting right in front of them. I mean, like she said, we all fall off one point or another. I mean, after my show, I have been eating like cheeseburgers and loaded nachos and meatloaf. But we get back on track, and that's the important thing. And we have each other to put each other back in our place. Like Alisha kind of just did that to me, and it helped a lot. And it makes me realize, I'm still learning every single day as well. This is all a learning experience. Don't feel like just because you're new that you have so much further to go than everybody else, and you're never going to get there. No, we're all here to support each other, and that is exactly why we have this team, and that's why we have these team calls. So if you can just hang in there, get through the tough times, because it's just like any other job that you're going to have. There's tough times. Life gets in front of us. Sometimes it gets in the way. But as long as you can be strong and stick through it, there's always the other end. The bad time isn't going to last long unless you don't do your PD. I love that, Alisha. Good job. All right. And Lauren's going to top it off.
Yes. So everything that Alisha said is something that I strive to incorporate every day into my business. So I'm not going to say the same things that she did, because that wouldn't be as helpful for you all. But before I kind of dive into my schedule and how things have kind of transpired for me since I started.
Hey, Lauren.
Can you guys hear me?
You're cutting out a lot, and you're frozen with your mouth wide open. I'm going to take a snapshot because I think it's really funny. Let's all make a funny face. Lauren. I'm so mean.
Deidra.
Lauren, your mouth is still open. I'll show you the picture, but you need to fix yourself.
Hello.
There you are. All right.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
You are awesome. You're good.
Yes. Okay. So Alisha, you totally showed me up. While you were doing your schedule, I had to type mine. I was just going to go run through it, but I typed it up for you all. But before I get there, I think what's really important is that when I started as a coach, I also started as a challenger. And Deidra was like, just try to get 2 or 3 people to do this with you. And I hit Success Club 5. And ever since then, it has been my goal to hit Success Club 5. And I will say that when I first started, my schedule was completely different than what it is today. And that's just because of how my team has transpired and how I want to grow as a coach. So know that you're sitting there today and that your schedule is going to be subject to change. So you have got to be flexible. And I will say when I started as a coach, I was not doing my workouts in the morning. I was doing them at 8 o'clock. Well, why would I do that? That's like the prime time to be messaging people. That's the prime time to be on Facebook. So naturally at first I was sleeping in. I was like, Deidra, I'm overwhelmed. I have 3 challenge groups going on. I can't do this. I don't know how you're doing this. And I got really frustrated. And I took a step back, and I had to look at my schedule. And ever since then, I've kind of come up with ways I've had to make sacrifices. And I'm going to go through all that. I'll get you to really become things before I even go into my top 5 things. But when you talk about a Beachbody coach and you look at the successful coaches, they didn't get successful and they didn't get to where they are because they were smart or that they were lucky or that they were a product of good circumstances. They got there because they had passion. Okay, if you're in this business to make money and make money fast, trust me when I say this, that you're not in this business for the right reason, and it's not going to happen. Okay, so if you don't have the passion behind why you're doing it, it's going to feel like work, and you're not going to want to put forth the work to get to where you want to be. Okay, if you love what you're doing, the money and the success is going to come anyways. So that's generally going to come after the fact. All right. You have to work really, really hard to get to where you want to be. And with that comes sacrifices. And again, I'm going to talk about certain sacrifices that I've made, but I know that it's going to pay off in the long run. It's just getting through the tough times, so to speak. There is no magic invite. There is no magic, way to dodge a price objection. You have to be confident in what you're doing, and it takes practice. So if you were to go back and look at my posts from a year and a half ago, you would probably laugh and go, oh my gosh, she's selling stuff. Okay. I used to say, oh, Shakeology is so great for me, and I would show the bag, and that's like a major no-no. I've learned that, but you have to fall a few times before you learn the right and the wrong way to do things. You'll learn the type of engagement that you're going to get from a post now versus what I got earlier. And it's not because I've been in this longer than you have. It's because I'm sharing and I'm not selling. So like what Alisha said, you don't just put a picture of a quote up and just put a picture of a quote up. You have to explain why it's meaningful to you. You have to add value. If you're not adding value, those people are not going to follow you. There's no reason to. They could just Google inspiration and that picture is going to pop up. Okay? You have to really, really focus on one thing until you're really good at it and then move on. I think a lot of coaches, they try to juggle way too many hats all at first, up front. You got Instagram, you have a blog, Deidre's got Pinterest. There are so many avenues that you could go. My advice is stick to one, master Facebook. If you're not posting on Facebook, there's no reason you should be getting Instagram. You have got to get good at one thing before you move on. And you really got to push yourself through self-doubt. And I'm not just talking about self-doubt with the business. I'm talking about your physical fitness journey and everything. You got to push, push, push. Okay? And then the other thing, I thought of this, and I thought it was kind of fun. I had to share with you all because we've all been there. You have to persist yourself for success. So you have to push yourself past the criticism. It's what I like to call crap. The criticism, the rejection that you're going to get from people, okay? The assholes that are out there, because there are people out there that are going to make comments about you. There are people that are going to say mean things to you. I've gotten it from my family, and I just have to push past it. And I have to know that what I'm doing is something greater, and that someday I'm going to be able to say, okay? And you have to push past the pressure that people are putting on you, and you're putting on yourself. You just got to do it. So those are some of the things that I kind of thought of as to why people succeed in this business, okay? And so let me just see if I can. All right, I'm going to hopefully be able to share with you all my, and then I'm going to dive into a little bit about the 5 things that have really turned my business for me. Because when I started again, I was just doing the bare minimum. I was just doing the 3 vital behaviors, but that wasn't enough to get me to where I want to be. So I had to rearrange and readjust my schedule because I was working 48 plus hours a week as a PA with a commute. So let me see if I can share my screen. Can you guys see it? Yeah, okay. So I get up at 5 a.m. and I work out from 5 to 5:30. And during my workout, I'm either listening to personal development or I'm listening to the previous week's national wake-up call. Because I am working, I work 8 to 4:30. I'm not always sitting at my desk to listen to the national wake-up call. So this is how I get it in. From 5:30 to 6:15 a.m., I check in with all my challenge groups. I get my post ready. So if I did a workout, I take a picture and I kind of, make it pretty and get it ready to post later on. And then I do 15 invites for a challenge group. And that's every single morning. If I have extra time, I will go and start commenting on some people's walls or liking their pictures if I have time. And generally, I try to target those people to the people that I'm working with and getting them on board for a challenge group. So if you're inviting people to challenge groups or you've already invited them, you don't want to come across as being, that's the only thing that you're interested in is getting them to join your challenge group. You want to be interested in them as a person. So going to their wall and liking their stuff and commenting on their stuff is something that I do. So I have a running list of Post-it notes on my computer of people that I'm talking to, people that said that they were interested, and people that said that they were going to do it and just kind of hem-hawing around it. And so I target those people. From 6:15 to 8 in the morning, I'm getting ready. I'm getting my daughter ready. I'm getting her to daycare. And then I actually have a commute to work. So it takes me about 30 minutes to drive to work. And so from 7:30 to 8:15, I'm actually on the phone with potential challengers, trying to discuss their fitness goals, their nutrition, talking about fitness programs, talking about Shakeology. I'm either talking with my coaches or I'm listening to personal development. I work from 8:30 to 4:30, and during my lunch hour, or actually a half hour, I don't get an hour anymore, during my lunch half hour, I'm either making myself available for one-on-one calls with my coaches, and this is when I check into my challenge group again. I don't always, but if I have time, I will. But this is the time I spend on Instagram. So the best times to get on Instagram, just like Facebook, it's 8, noon, and 8 o'clock at night. So I'm on Instagram during my lunch hour, searching hashtags for people like me, people who are maybe looking for, help with their weight loss journey, or people who are into fitness, and I'm commenting on their stuff, liking their pictures, and following them. From 4:30 on, after work, I'm driving home, and I schedule that time again for one-on-one coaches, calls with my coaches, or with potential prospect challengers. So for me, that's an hour a day or an hour and a half a day that I could be talking to potential challengers, coaches, or doing personal development. And I will tell you that within the last week, I've sold 2 challenge packs in a matter of a half hour collectively, talking to people that I didn't even know who approached me about a challenge group. And I'll tell you, it was so much easier, so much more time effective, life-saving actually, because, when you're talking to somebody on the computer, you're back and forth for, seems like days. You send a response, you're waiting for them to get back to you, but then your kid's crying or you have to make dinner, and then you come back and they're not there. And so it's just constant, cat and mouse game. And so I say, if I'm talking to somebody, I say, hey, why don't we get on the phone? These are my times that I'm available. When can you talk? So for me, this has been huge in a shift in my business because I'm saving time and I'm not wasting it. I know a lot of people that work full-time, they fear that Beachbody is kind of taking over their family life, and they want to be there for their kids. They want to be around and present in their husbands' lives. So from 5:15 to 7:15, my phone is nowhere in sight. My phone is either turned off or it's upstairs because it drives my husband crazy. Who can relate? You're sitting at the dinner table and your phone vibrates and you're like, oh my gosh, somebody wants to buy a challenge pack. Or you are, playing with your daughter and all of a sudden somebody's ringing in and wanting to purchase a challenge pack. So, your husband's there, you run into the bathroom so he doesn't see you so that you can respond to this person. I've been there, I know, and those people are going to be there an hour and a half from now. So you need to just set this aside and spend time with your family. Once I get my daughter down, it's strictly Beachbody time. So my husband works PM shifts and he works day shifts. So when my husband's working from 7 to 3 and he's home with me at night, Beachbody is from like 7:30 to 10. Okay? When my husband's working from 3 to 11 p.m., Beachbody is my entire night. And I choose to do that. So, if your focus for your business is just to get 3 to 5 people or hit Success Club 5, your time that you're investing into your business might be a little different than mine. But for me and the goals that I want to reach, this is the time that I'm going to dedicate to my business. It's because I want to. It's not because I have to. It's because I want to. And I'm passionate about it. So some nights I find myself staying up till 12 or 1, and then I'm like, okay, really, I need to go to bed. So I don't know how to stop. Okay, so that's kind of my breakdown of a day. And what I try and do is every Sunday, it's kind of our meal prep plan for the week ahead, but it's also my time as a coach to plan my week. So I actually sit down with my calendar and I plan my week down to each night what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I make a list on Sunday and I set my goals for the week. So for me, the beginning of the month, I hit Success Club 5 by the 5th, and it's my goal to hit Success Club 10 by the 10th. Okay, so that's just my goal. That has been like that for a while now. And I do that because it pushes me. Okay, so if my goal is to hit Success Club 5 or Success Club 10 by the first 10 days of the month, my focus for the first 10 days of the month is going to be on challenge groups. My focus for my posts are going to be about challenge groups, about my fitness tips, my clean eating tips. I'm going to be adding value to those potential challengers and people watching and, following me to say, hey, if I'm your coach, I'm going to provide value for you. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be consistent. On Sunday nights, I also look at my team. So I look at my team's needs, where my team's at, what they need. I offer on my team page, if anybody wants to have one-on-one team calls with me. And if nobody takes me up on the offer, then I offer those spots to potential customers. So it's really just, my schedule does change. So for me, being flexible is really what I have to do. If it's going to be a busy week for you, you have a lot to do for your job, you need to prioritize. So you need to do, you need to do what you have to do versus what you want to do. Okay. So if you want to make a pretty picture for your banner, that's really not going to drive your business anywhere. Okay. What's going to drive your business is inviting, following up, doing the 3 vital behaviors, and really mastering those things. Okay. And so that's kind of what I do on Sundays. And my schedule depends on my husband's schedule and what I have to do for the day, for the week even. And I kind of make a list. So if I have extra time, I know in my mind, okay, I have a list. I want to do a blog post on XYZ. Or if I have extra time, I want to make a video for my team. If I have extra time, I'm going to do this. And sometimes I even do posts on my blog and I save them for some other day when I don't have time to do it. So I'm always trying to get one step ahead of the game. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. So my 5 or 7 things that I do that have been really powerful in moving my business forward. Again, like I said, when I first started, I wasn't getting up early. I was just doing the bare minimum and I was just making the bare minimum. I was just hitting Success Club 5 and I didn't really have a team to show for it. Okay. So for me, the 7 things, 7, I don't have 5, I have 7. My 7 things is you got to be flexible. Okay. So things are going to come up. Things are going to be thrown at you and you just have to learn to navigate. If you have a family emergency, you have somebody sick in your family. Sometimes I use that to my advantage. I say, okay, my daughter's sick, but my health is still a priority. I'm still going to eat healthy, even though I'm stressed and even though I'm traveling. So people want to see those things. Okay. And being flexible also means with your schedule. So, if somebody calls and says, hey, Lauren, this is the only time I can do a call. Well, then that's fine. I'm just going to rearrange my schedule. But I set time limits for myself. Okay. One thing that has driven my business forward and that really should be a priority for all of you if you are wanting to make this business successful is you have got to make Success Club non-negotiable. Okay. This is something for me that I don't know what it was when I first started. I have not missed 1 month of Success Club, and it's been over, 2 years maybe, or going on 2 years. I don't know how many months I've been in this business. But for the first year of my business, Success Club 5, I hit every month. And then I said, okay, well, that's great. I'm bringing in, 2 to 3 people to my business every month, but I'm not seeing the growth that I want to see. Okay. So for me hitting Success Club 5, yes, there were months that it was hard, but I said, am I really putting forth the effort? You're only going to get out what you put in. Okay. So for me, I said, you know what? No, if I can hit Success Club 5, I can do 10. And it was my goal last year to hit Success Club 10. And there were months, let me tell you, that I knew that I wasn't working as hard because I was just barely hitting Success Club 10. It's possible. You just have to tell yourself, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it. Okay? And one thing I will say about Success Club is if you are the kind of person that waits until the last week to bust your balls to reach it, let me just challenge you all as hard to eat the last day of the month. And I promise you, you'll hit Success Club. Okay? Something that has really driven my business forward is consistency in the challenge groups. Okay. When you advertise for a challenge group, you're advertising that you are going to be their one-on-one coach, that you are going to provide them with meal plans and recipes and motivation. Well, let me tell you, if you aren't doing those things, you are essentially you're not promoting what you're actually giving. You're false advertising. So if you're going to be a coach and you have challengers in your challenge group and you're just posting a motivational picture in the morning and says, hey guys, hope you have a great day, get your water in, let's do it. That is not, that's not going to retain challengers. That's not going to keep them on Shakeology, and they will not be coaches. Okay. You can't just exist in the challenge groups. So once you get them signed up, yay, I hit Success Club 2, let's dump you into a group. You actually have to be present in the groups and create some kind of value. If not, your business will not move forward. Okay. So for me, because I am busy, I don't have a lot of time. I only check into a challenge group two times a day, morning and evening, sometimes during my lunch hour. But I do that. My challengers know that I'm going to be there every morning and every evening to answer questions. So if you are finding yourself floating through Facebook all the time and answering their posts when they post in the group, you are wasting your time. I literally go in twice a day and I comment on everybody's posts and then I move on. I'm out of the challenge group. I don't waste time in the challenge groups. Okay. One thing I've also done is I turned off all of my notifications in all the groups. I know I'm going to check them when I have scheduled time to check them, so I don't need to be reminded that, Deidra is posting or one of my coaches is posting, because I'll see it later. Also, with being consistent in the challenge groups, you also have to be consistent with your posting. Just like Alisha said, you have got to be a product of the product. You have to post on your wall, and you have to be consistent with it and show passion and meaning behind it. So for me, driving my business forward more from just, a diamond coach or a coach with a ton of discount coaches to a coach trying to build a team of other coaches with coaches, I had to shift my focus a little bit. And so the first half of the month, again, I'm hitting Success Club 10 by the 10th. And so my posts are going to reflect that, and my invites are going to reflect that. Okay. So the second half of the month for me, trying to drive my business forward, was more geared towards coaching. So my posts are geared towards coaching. When I'm searching Instagram, I'm searching coaching stuff. But it's just being consistent with the posting is really going to be what's going to add value and drive your business forward. Something else for me working full time is I found myself initially just kind of like a squirrel. I was all over the place. Like I would see a notification, I would go to that notification. If I saw somebody send me a message, I would go to my messages. And I was never accomplishing a single thing. I was getting frustrated. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to schedule time and you have to set limits. So my time at night, from 7:30 on, I have a detailed list of what I want to do and how much time I'm going to spend doing it. And so if I do a blog post and I allow myself 30 minutes, well, if I finish it within 30 minutes, I'll go on to do something else. If I don't finish it within 30 minutes, I hit save and I move on. You have to set time restraints, and if not, you're not going to get anything accomplished. Let me see here. I think that was, the other thing, like Deidra said, events are going to be crucial for your business because you actually meet the trainers, you can get pictures with trainers, and that makes you a little bit more credible in my opinion. If you're advertising for a challenge group and you have a picture with Shaun T or you have a picture with Autumn, I feel like people take you a little bit more seriously and they kind of put you like you're higher up than other coaches. So I really think going to events is something that you really need to try and strive to do. And my biggest thing, the last thing, is you can't be negative. No matter how much you want to be negative and you want to project it on Facebook for the world to see and for the world to respond to, you can't do it. Because let me tell you, that'll just drive people away. So posting your problems, being negative, I think it's good to be real, don't get me wrong, because I have had my moments of weakness and I've shared that on Facebook and I've gotten a lot of response from it. But you can't be negative and expect to grow your business, because it translates down to your coaches, your challengers, and you're just creating a negative environment for your team. Okay, so I know I went over a lot of things, but for me, working as a mom, it's really just about being flexible, creating a schedule, sticking to it, and when you're posting, post with value and be present in all of the groups that you have going on. And know that there is always somebody busier than you out there. So
That was a good one.
yeah. There's always somebody busier.
That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job, guys. Oh my gosh, you killed this call. Awesome. I loved it. You guys had so many great things. I hope you guys took notes, because I have 2 pages full. So always great information from the both of you. You both gave very important information that was different from each other, but both definitely valuable for everyone that they can use, including myself, for future. Do you guys have any questions for either of them, or just in general?
Oh, I forgot to show something.
Yes.
Can I share? Oh, sorry. So I wanted to share with you guys my nights real quick, just real quick. I know I talk a lot. Let me just see if I can. So Sunday nights, real quick. So this is after my daughter's in bed, and I think it's really important too. If you're married, you need to communicate with your spouse on Sunday what your game plan is and where you're going to be and how much time that you're going to be allotting to Beachbody. If not, you're going to create a lot of tension, unnecessary fights, and they're not going to get it. So Sunday nights, I check in personally with all my challengers and all my coaches, and I create a post about the challenge group or the coaching group depending on the time of the month. Monday nights, I dedicate to doing blog posts while listening to Melanie's call. Okay, and this is all doing messaging too, so I'm messaging people back and forth. Tuesday, messages, and I work on Transformation Tuesday picture with a call to action. So a call to action meaning join my challenge group. Wednesday, I solely focus on Instagram and do a blog post while doing messages. Thursday, Deidra's team call, and I actually schedule out all my like pages. So I have a like page, and I schedule out all my posts for the next week. So it's one less thing I don't have to worry about. And also being busy working, I can generally share sometimes my like page stuff onto my wall. So that saves me time. And then Friday night, I don't do diddly unless I'm by myself. Or what's that?
Were you going to say Jack?
No, diddly. No.
Okay.
So, I mean, sometimes I do, but I try not to, because I feel like you need a night just to kind of unwind. Now, if it's the end of the month and I'm not to where I want to be, then I'll work. It just depends. And Saturday's the same way. So, I mean, Saturday evenings are open. If I choose to work my business, I do. If I don't, I don't. And, if I don't go as far as I would like to have, then maybe it's because I didn't, work on Saturday night. But that's my choice. But that's just kind of how I spend my time breaking it up throughout the week. So just thought I would share.
Awesome.
Hopefully that helped you guys.
If you guys wouldn't mind, I would love for you guys to post them on the team page. That way everyone can see them and get a little bit of a guide so they can create their own schedule as well. Mm-hmm. That would be awesome. Cool. And, with the consistency, just to add on to what they said to finish this off, I just posted about it in our Coach Basics group today. But one thing that has really helped me with staying consistent was using the business activity tracker. It is something that a lot of us don't want to use because it's like double documenting, I guess you can say. But it has really helped me look at the end of the week, okay, let's review what I have done with my business. What have I done? What have I slacked on? What can I improve on? What are my strengths? Because you can look at your goals. Have I met my goal? And then you can look at your activities. Okay, well, why have I not met my goal? What did I not do? Or, okay, I reached my goal. Now let's continue building on a strength. That way you can be an expert at something. So use some kind of tracker for your business. If you're not tracking your business, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to see what you're doing in your business altogether. So I have the Forever Fit business activity tracker that I made myself that I just felt were very crucial for me growing my business. So I included Instagram, doing my blog 3 times a week on there. If anyone has a blog, 3 times a week is usually what I recommend for a blog. That was what Melanie taught me. And she is amazing with her blog. She gets everything from her blog. And now that is actually one of the top things, the social medias that I use that I get the most traction from for my business. So, you know, it includes the social media. It includes doing your 3 vital behaviors, your inviting. I also have my follow-ups on there. But, you know, if you're just a paper and pencil type of person, you can do that as well. But just make sure that you're writing something down so you can see what you're doing for your business. Think that's all I wanted to say. Do you guys want to add anything? Do you have any questions? Nope. All right. Thank you everyone for getting on. Ladies, you did amazing. I'm really glad that we recorded this. Lauren, you cut out a little bit, but I think we should be good. Not your fault. It's your house's fault. But you guys did amazing. I think that we got everything. So, all right, guys. Thank you for getting on and have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.